In our book, Corporations and Citizenship, we actually try to extend the use of the citizenship metaphor to think about corporations and their relations with society and politics. And the first dimension is possibly the most obvious one, that we think of corporations as citizens rather like human beings are citizens. And this places corporations, if you like, as fellow members of the society with human beings, but it also places them in a vertical relationship with government. They're expected to obey the government, but equally they're expected and given the opportunity to try and influence government, much like human citizens do. The second dimension is where we see corporations as more like governments in respect to human citizens. In this respect, we find that corporations often acquire and deploy the sorts of authority we more normally might associate with government. This is sometimes because governments evacuate an area, if you like. They privatise or withdraw, leaving the space for some other body to govern. In some cases, it's simply a vacuum where there's a new issue, or where, in some developing countries, governments have never addressed the issue anyway. And the other case, of course, is cross-border activities, where governments themselves can't singly rule. Sometimes they're not very good at coordinating their activities, and corporations actually exercise authority across borders, like, for example, in the way that conditions in sweatshops have been addressed by corporations which have been pressured in one company, and they've addressed the problem in another. The third dimension is where we see corporations as providing an opportunity for human citizens to exercise their citizenship, or, if you like, it's an arena for human citizenship. This is most obviously the case for stakeholders close to the company, like employees, consumers and investors, who might want to pursue objectives of better pay, objectives of fair trade, objectives of withdrawing investment from apartheid South Africa. They can do that through the medium of the corporation. But it's also true of stakeholders which are rather more removed from the company itself. Non-governmental organisations nowadays don't just criticise corporations for doing wrong, they try to work with them in order to address a problem, say, of child poverty.